Okay, can we get everyone quiet, please? Because we're
live.
Welcome to, and we're done. Thank you for the round of applause, and welcome to the 2024 Startup TNT Cleantech Investment Summit. I'm Adrian. I'm one of the Startup TNT angel investors. I've been investing with Startup TNT since the fall of 2021. And with me tonight, my friend, my co-investor, my colleague, Mr. Hassan Naqvi. Please introduce yourself.
Thanks, Adrian. Good evening, everyone. My name is Hassan Naqvi. I'm the lead investor for Startup TNT in Regina. And like Adrian, I've been investing with Startup TNT since 2021. And this is my 8th summit to date. So really a huge pleasure to be here tonight. I've ran summits before in Regina, and they're about a third the size. So this is something new for me, coming from Regina. There's just a big crowd out here. Adrian, this is amazing. And as part of this, to be part of the Cleantech Summit, to see 5 amazing cleantech companies pitch tonight on stage to reduce emissions and make the cleaner and more better place. But before we get into that,
yeah, I got it. I mean, I want to say, like, tonight in Regina, there's a summit happening.
There is a summit happening in Regina.
I think it's the Agri-Food Summit, because tonight we're doing a Life Sciences Summit in Edmonton, Agri-Food in Regina, and Cleantech here. And so I know you must be missing home. Can we give Hassan a nice Calgary Yahoo welcome? Welcome, Hassan, to Calgary.
Thank you.
Okay, so now, tonight we're going to be listening to founders telling us the story of their journey thus far and where they're going. The power of storytelling connects us, inspires us, and brings us together in this place tonight. In the spirit of reconciliation and honoring the narratives that have shaped this land, we need to acknowledge the Indigenous peoples who are the original storytellers of these territories. The Blackfoot Confederacy, the Tsuut'ina, the Nakota Nations, the Métis Nation, Region 3, and all the peoples who make their homes in the Treaty 7 region of Southern Alberta. In this journey of creativity and innovation, let us remember that the stories we tell have the power to shape our world, and embark on this evening with deep respect for the land, its stories, and its peoples. Okay, and with that, as we get into the storytelling, what's the order of operations? So first, a quick safety thing. Exits, and you should have seen them, are all over the main lobby. If there's anything going on, you just go orderly fashion. Don't want anyone tripping down the stairs. Orderly fashion down the stairs and out the exit. There are washrooms. There's an accessible washroom beneath me right now. There is an accessible entry here. There's also an elevator on the top. There's also washrooms just up here. Beyond that, there's also a defibrillator. If anyone needs an AED, defibrillator just on the top floor behind the stage there. With that, the bar is going to be close to the pitches. We've only got about 45 minutes of pitches. We're going to try and get through this introduction piece by 6:15. We started a few minutes late, so maybe 6:20. Then the investors are going to retire to the deliberation room. Food arrives around 6:45, so there's going to be food. The bar's going to reopen. You guys can go network. We'll be back here by about 7:45. We're going to target 7:45, but definitely before 8 to announce the winner of the investment summit. And then so we can all celebrate and we can continue networking. We can stay here till about 9:30, and they're expecting us at National on 10th for the after party. It's going to be a great night. The after party tab, we do a thing here at TNT where we accept donations for the tab. At the top 20, Calgary actually ended up winning. Sorry, Regina, it was a little Calgary-Regina competition.
Well, it is just me in Regina, so it's really hard for me to compete against all these people for the beer tab.
But tonight is the Agri-Food Summit in Regina, so I think the competition is on again.
Well, we have Jesse there and William from Vancouver, and Mike. It's going to be tight.
Big spenders in Regina. So we would encourage everyone here to donate to the bar tab for the after party. we've already had one pretty significant donation. Denise Grant Sherpa, look at you. Thank you for a very significant bar tab donation. Everyone, you can say thanks to Denise. You know, and then the bar here, we've actually had a couple of new sponsors as well. You've noticed them there, Olay and Trolley 5, two Calgary companies donating to the bar here. So let's keep it going. Let's keep the celebration alive. I'm going to be donating to the bar tab. Hassan's going to be donating to the bar tab.
I'm not sure which one to donate to, though.
We're all one family here. So that's the order of operations. Let's get into it. So I want to start with a question for Hassan. Why invest in startups?
That's a really good question, Adrian. It's a question that actually I've been talking to a bunch of investors about tonight. And for myself, it's a bit of a personal question. Aside from the opportunity for outside returns in investments, the main reason why I invest in startups is to support the local community and the local founders. There's nothing more than supporting individuals who are putting it out there on the line to promote their ideas, their business dreams, and to provide the backing that they need. And it's not just with a monetary backing. It's also supporting them with encouragement, with advice, with connections, referrals, all those things that are required in order to make a business successful. So that's why I invest in startups, Adrian. How about you?
No, I mean, that's a really good reason, and mine's not too different. No, many of you don't know, like obviously I lived here for a few years in the 80s, and then moved away and moved back in 2000 for the oil and gas industry. And in that time, and I think even as far back as the 80s, and someone's going to tell me actually the 60s, we have been saying we need to diversify our economy. We've been saying diversify. It's kind of like Inglewood. It's like always coming, it's gentrifying. Well, here it is. We're doing it. And I want to be a part of that diversification. And I have 3 kids, and I want my kids to potentially work at one of these incredible startups that's going to be a unicorn or a gigacorn. Heard a new term today from ZS2, a gigacorn in this city, based right here. And so I want to be a part of that. I want to help diversify the economy, and that's why I invest in startups.
Excellent reasons there to invest in startups. And with that, you know, the support of local startups, which has led to an amazing effect that we can see here on the TNT effect wall. This wall represents a tradition that started back in 2019 as a weekly happy hour. Back then, every Thursday, startup investors, founders, team members, and supporters would get together to make connections with each other and stimulate the local ecosystem with a very simple agenda: make friends, have fun, and build companies. From that weekly happy hour, sprouted an idea to hold an investment summit starting in February of 2020. And from there, 252 weeks later, we're now hosting weekly happy hours in 5 cities across the prairies. Hopefully one more coming.
One more coming.
Yep. We brought together over 375 investors. We've done close to 13 million in capital raised, in over 90 plus companies.
So 90 companies, 30 summits. How's that work, Hassan?
I mean, that works out to basically, what is that, 2 companies per,
well,
33 companies per summit. Sorry, my math is really bad.
So it's not just about the winner. There's side deals, right?
That's right. There are a lot of side deals that happen as well. So it's not just the winners who get investments. One other thing I want to point out that isn't really evident on this logo wall is that 42, we found out just today, 42 of these companies are led by female founders. And yeah. I mean that's almost a 50% ratio.
Yep.
And 24 are led by BIPOC founders. So those are just some amazing stats to consider for an organization that literally just started with 2 friends meeting in a bar.
Yeah, no, it's pretty amazing. 252 weeks later. I mean, these are the organizational metrics. These are the prairies-wide metrics. The investors, the 375, that's actually countrywide, and that number is actually small because we've added a whole bunch of new first-time investors on the 3 summits we're running tonight. So at the end of the night, this is going to say 33 and probably over 400 investors. But we're in Calgary. What about Calgary numbers? So in Calgary, 33 of these companies are Calgary companies. 33. Over $5 million in Calgary companies. I know I met some people from Calgary Economic Development here. Like, we are making an impact here. And I want to say that pre-seed investment across the country, Startup TNT is the most active group nationally for pre-seed stage. Right. So yeah, that's Calgary. But what about Cleantech? We're here to hear about Cleantech. What are you guys doing in Cleantech? 16 companies, over $2.7 million. 6 of those winners are Cleantech companies. So I'll let that sink in. Look at these companies. We were at ZS2 earlier today. We heard from Aeralytics earlier. Aeralytics wasn't even in a Cleantech summit. They were the first Calgary winner just over 3 years ago to win a Calgary Startup TNT Summit. We love Cleantech, and we're going to hear about Cleantech tonight. But we couldn't do it without the support of our partners and sponsors. We've got Prairies Can, Alberta Innovates, core funding partners. These guys fund everything we do. We love these guys. Our Cleantech Summit started in partnership with Foresight Canada. They're our lead organizing partner. We've done something different this time around. We got a VC friend helping us behind the scenes, helping us think about deals as we get to Series A level. So we're working with renewal funds. We've also happy to introduce Osler, our new BFF. Osler's here. Many of you will know Michael Grantmeyer. He's in the crowd. But we also have MNP. We have Fasket. You're going to hear from a lot of these people tonight. RBCX, U-Seed Investment Funds. Our close friends, BDC, Alberta Enterprise Corp, and the University of Calgary Hunter Hub for Entrepreneurial Thinking. These people support us in doing what we do. So I want you to give us all a round of applause. So thank our partners and sponsors. Our community supporters also, we couldn't do this without their support. We also have our summit organizing partner. These guys are working with many of the same companies. We're working together to try and build these ecosystems up to have successful companies across the prairies. And with that, I'm going to ask Hassan how it works.
All right, for those in the crowd that don't know how it works, each investor has already pre-committed $5,000. They can actually add more if they want to. But it's not just a pitch competition. The investors have also collaborated and performed due diligence on these companies already. So although the companies are going to be pitching here tonight, it's not just a pitch competition. We're basing the decision on all the due diligence that's happened over the last 8 weeks almost. The winning of
it's been a lot of due diligence.
And this round has been a lot.
How's it feel? How's it been feeling? Yeah?
You can just ask some of the founders.
I would say we went very deep this time.
And the winning investment will be announced live right here on the stage tonight. And it's not just about the... Oh, sorry. Go back one.
All right.
And it's... Sorry, it's not just about the investors providing money to the founders. It's also them providing advice, support, and connections. And even if the company doesn't win tonight, it doesn't mean that they're not a winning company. All these companies in the top 5 are companies that are investable and could succeed.
That's right. That's right. And we could always that's absolutely correct. Okay, are we ready for the next slide? Okay.
Yeah, right, as Adrian already mentioned, we've done this 30 times. We've got over 60 investors in the Cleantech finale, including LPs from the TNT Capital. We've got 5 startups here tonight that are going to be pitching, and both live and online, we got over 500 attendees, all leading to one epic night.
That's right. So 60 investors participating. So if you're a $5,000 pre-committed investor, our motto is make friends, have fun, and build, or have fun, make friends, build companies. So we bring in +1 investors. We get people around the table. We also have our TNT Capital Fund. We also have investors from that fund also working on due diligence. So that's how we have 60+.
And here's who's going to be on stage pitching tonight. 5 excellent companies. I'm not going to talk about them. I don't want to steal their thunder, but these are companies that are out, that are disrupting the clean tech space.
That's right. You're going to hear from these founders very soon because they're going to be pitching.
That's right. This is how the pitches are going to run. Each founder has 4 minutes to do their pitch, followed by a 2-minute Q&A. The 4 minutes will be timed on the monitor down here. Once you hit the 4 minutes, we'll give you a quick reminder. And at 4 minutes, 30 seconds, we're going to have to politely stop you as we're going to have to carry on with the Q&A.
That's right. Now, okay, we've said it a few times. At least one company is leaving with investment tonight. But every single company can leave with the gift of feedback. These founders are killing themselves. They're working super hard. You may know a customer that they could connect with. You may know another investor they could connect with. You may be an advisor that they need. You may just be someone who says, I didn't understand what you did. You should tweak your message. They can use that feedback. It really isn't coming on us. So not everyone's going to get money, but everyone can leave with some help to make their pitch better, to help them in the future. So please scan this QR code and give the companies some feedback. And I will wait. I will wait till I see an average half number of...
Everyone get your phones out.
There we go. There we go. Okay. That's enough. I guess we've got people who are good position. So,
All right, with that,
are we ready for the pitches?
I don't know, are we? I think, we got what? Sorry, we got one more thing to cover.
I'm trying to remember if there's something else to
It's an
mention.
individual.
No, there was one more thing. No, it's Derek. We love to.
That's right, a
We love
co-funding
to-
partner. Derek Armstrong, come on up here.
So I won't be long. I know I'm standing between you and the exciting pitches, and I'm just a government guy up here. I've done this 4 or 5 times, and of course, we invested $2 million into Startup TNT. So when you invest millions of dollars into organizations, you do get invited to talk here and there, which is good. But this is actually a really packed house. It's going to be super memorable. But I think the most memorable time I did this, a few months ago, Adrian, about 30 minutes before I was getting up on stage, he comes up to me and he's like, oh yeah, by the way, the premier, Danielle Smith, she's coming and she's going to be speaking. And then she's going to hand off the microphone to you. No big deal. And I was like, Adrian, do you read the news? Do you realize that that the federal government, the provincial government aren't quite getting along right now, and you want me to sit beside the premier? And so that was extremely memorable, but it was a really, really good time to actually spend some time with Premier Smith and have her come out and show up for Startup TNT. So that was amazing. But actually, so I just wanted to say a few words about Prairie Scan. So we are an investor, and I say invest because we don't take any equity or return on investment. We're investing into this innovation ecosystem, which is absolutely killing it. So over the last 3 years, my team and I, we've invested $100 million into the innovation ecosystem. And that includes Startup TNT, it includes the Energy Transition Center, it includes, Platform Innovation Center, CDL Rockies, SATE, a lot of hydrogen stuff, CCUS stuff. So there's so much happening here, and that is why we're doing it. If I were a clean tech entrepreneur, this is where I would want to be. I think this is one of the best ecosystems for a clean tech entrepreneur probably in the world. I think this is an ecosystem where you can go from startup to scale up, and we see that with ZS2, Aerolytics, Converge, Ever, which is getting huge investments. So we're just seeing so much momentum. We're seeing doubling of the number of startups, doubling of the value of the innovation ecosystem here, record levels of VC funding right here in Alberta. And so I couldn't be more pleased with our $100 million investment. Canadian taxpayers, Alberta taxpayers are getting a ridiculous return on investment. So with that being said, I would love to wish all the pitches and the pitchers tonight the best of luck. Have a great night.
All right, thanks a lot, Derek.
Thank you. Thank you, Derek. I was going to tell you that Danielle Smith was going to be here again tonight, but it turns out Derek and I, our wives are both physicians, and I actually happen to know she's at the AMA meeting in Edmonton tonight. So we're good. We're good. Okay. Who's up? Okay, so yeah, it's my pleasure to introduce, before each pitch, we're going to be introducing one of our partners and sponsors to introduce the founder who's going to pitch. And then we'll also have one of our investors doing Q&A for that company. So with that, it's my pleasure to introduce our lead organizing partner, Foresight, and David Yiptong.
Hello everyone, I'm David Yiptong. I'm with Foresight. If you don't know Foresight, we're a Cleantech accelerator, probably Canada's largest. So proud to see so many companies that we know, so many people that we know participating through this program. We have been partnering with TNT since the beginning, and we're proud to see it continue on. I'm supposed to be here to introduce an entrepreneur to pitch, but this entrepreneur is on a trade mission in the Caribbean, and on his way back, and as airlines go, he's not here yet because he's delayed, and he's on his way. He will be here at 7 o'clock, but Keith from Aqua-Cell will make it here to network with you. He does want to meet you, but he did pre-record a pitch. We have Josh from his team who will be providing the Q&A. So with that, I will queue up the virtual pitch from Keith from Aqua-Cell.
And Josh, if you're here, can you come down, please? Yeah, thanks.
I'm Keith Cleveland, the CEO and founder of Aqua-Cell Energy, coming to you from an airport in the Bahamas. On my way to see you, I'll be there in about an hour, excited to meet everyone there. Now, Aqua-Cell Energy, we make giant batteries made of water and salt. We use them to lower rising electricity costs and get to net zero faster. We sell the batteries to factories and the grid operators who sell to those factories who are struggling to find ways to store energy for longer than 12 hours a day to deal with the extremely expensive electricity costs. We have 2 letters of intent for pilots leading to the first $10 to $15 million in sales. We are the fastest flow battery to de-risk our full-scale stack that you can see here in less than 6 months and less than $200,000 in funding. And we just wrapped up a successful trade mission in the Bahamas, where we have about half a dozen customers who are very excited about the Aqua-Cell battery and looking to do feasibility studies, including the Rocky Mountain Institute, who has a $100 million fund for project financing new renewable energy technologies like the Aqua-Cell battery. Now, we are laser focused on the medium scale of energy storage. So on the very small scale, lithium batteries work well. On the very large scale, you can get pumped hydro. But there is a major market gap at the medium scale where there just aren't very few energy storage technologies available. We can get to that market extremely fast because we have a flow battery technology that is based on existing technology. The equipment that houses the water and the salt is already fully scaled up in the water treatment industry, meaning we can get to market from inception in about 4 years, where it's taken most other flow battery companies 12. We can save about almost $2 million per year for a 500 kilowatt battery, and we have patent pending IP on the chemistry, which will block any new companies from utilizing this water treatment technology for energy storage. Now, just to get crystal clear on the customers, for example, in the Bahamas, they want to store solar energy in a battery so that they can run the electricity grid overnight. They need 12 to 16 hours for a battery, save $250,000 a month per megawatt. The opposite is true in North America, where they actually want to store cheap electricity overnight so they can power their factories during the day. Both cases are medium scale and need energy storage for long duration. Now, we're the right team to do this because we've done it before. I used to work at the water treatment manufacturer, and so I know exactly what to expect in scaling up this exact technology. I met my co-founder Ellsworth working on our master's degree at the University of Waterloo, and he has experience scaling up fuel cells, very similar technology, bringing them from the lab to market. So we know exactly what we're doing when we're scaling this up. And we have done it. We've already gotten from the lab scale to the full stack scale, which is the hardest part about scaling up a flow battery. We're now just need to raise money to get 30 of these batteries, 30 of these stacks into a shipping container, build out a control system so that we have a shipping container pilot product. And then we're going to pilot at the city of Medicine Hat at the end of this year. And we're going to start out with the grid operators like in the Bahamas and in Medicine Hat. We can charge them $3.5 million per battery, and they're ideal as a beachhead because they know exactly how to operate a battery. We can then, and they have the capital to do so, we can then use them as a channel partner to reach commercial and industrial, shifting to a storage as a service model. They're not in the business of operating a battery, they're in the business of saving money, which we can save, we can split in their cost savings for about $700,000 per year, of about, for 8,000 facilities, that makes up about a $20 billion market opportunity. We're well on track to getting over $100 million in revenue by the end of the decade. We're asking for investment in our company for $1.5 million. This will be to finalize the 50 kilowatt pilot design, all of the engineering to get there, sets us on a path to the first 10 to 15 million in revenue. Now, they told us in the Bahamas that once our technology is ready, we're going to have a hard time keeping it on the shelves. This is a multi-billion-dollar market, so I hope you'll join our journey at Aqua-Cell Energy to change the way the world uses clean energy. I'm Keith Cleveland, the CEO and founder of Aqua.
Okay, so Josh, 1 second. Asking Q&A on Aqua-Cell is one of our investors, one of our community supporting sponsors, Avneet from Presido LLP.
Hi everyone. So I'm new to this. This is my first time investing in startup TNT. I'm a lawyer by profession. I work at the Presido LLP and I'm an intellectual property lawyer. We have a diversified practice of intellectual property. And we have two very experienced lawyers, patent agent Robert Henry and Craig Zawara. I'm also joined here with our Cleantech group who pretty much do Cleantech on an everyday basis. There's Chad Egerman, Janelle Anderson, and Austral Silverwood. And I'm here to ask some questions from Josh.
Absolutely, yeah, thank you for that. Hi everyone, I'm Joshua Hannison. I'm an employee with Aqua-Cell Energy and filling in for Keith today for this Q&A until he's able to arrive.
So what sets you apart from your competitors?
Sure, yeah, I can speak to that. I think the biggest thing that sets Aqua-Cell apart is that the Aqua-Cell technology has already been proven and commercialized in the water treatment industry. And with us having a close manufacturer connection, we're able to scale up very quickly. In addition to that, we're extremely good at leveraging various professional support. For example, we've been working with IP lawyers at developing a patent portfolio. We've been working with Nate, the Polytechnic up in Edmonton, at building out a full stack battery system. And we're graduates from the Creative Destruction Lab's accelerator program, which has led to many new advisors that are experts in the energy industry all across Alberta.
Wow, that's amazing. So how do you propose to compete in the medium scale industry, which is growing so fast?
Sure, yeah. So it's true that the industry is growing very fast. But what that means is there's actually massive opportunity from that. If you look at the other competitors in this medium scale energy storage, there aren't actually that many. And for us, we have an inherently simpler manufacturing process that can be made with just membranes and doesn't require electrodes in every single cell in the stack. Now, even if you take a specific example, say ESS down in the States is a direct competitor, they're currently working on a revenue from a specific deal that'll be $300 million of revenue in the next 3 years with just one municipality. Now, if you just think about that for a moment, the size of the market here that we're talking about, if we can capture even a small fraction of that, that's going to be an enormous opportunity for Aqua-Cell.
That's amazing. Thank you. I think that's all the time we have.
All right, let's hear it one more time for Aqua-Cell and especially Josh for filling in at the last second. All right, from batteries to beer. We're going to have, actually, we're going to have Michael Grantmeyer, partner at Oisler, coming in to introduce the next company.
Thanks. Hey, everybody. I didn't plan on the travel time for getting down here with all the people that are here tonight, so have to do that next time. But anyways, so for those of you that I don't know, my name's Michael Grantmeyer. I'm a partner at Osler, Hoskin & Harcourt. We're a full-service business law firm, and I lead our emerging and high-growth companies group practice in the prairies, and that is Osler's tech and venture capital practice. To give you a sense, we are a life cycle legal partner. We work with people pre-incorporation through to the latest possible stages of what they're up to, and that can mean lots of commercial work, tax, IP, venture financing, and M&A and capital markets work. You know, we're all here to talk about raising capital tonight, and when we think about what we do as a firm, we do about 300 financings in venture a year. We do about half of all by value deals in this country every year, and we work with a lot of the household names that you know. Some of them are here, right here in this province, and we work with a lot that you don't know, and I suspect that some of those are going to be known that are pitching tonight. So I'll end there, but I'm excited to introduce Kent from CO2 Brew. Interesting thing that caught my eye on their website was carbon capture and reuse in the brewing space. So I'm really excited to hear what Kent's got to say, and take it away.
Thanks, Ian. That was awesome. That was really good.
Nice. I already messed up and came in on the wrong side. Okay, perfect. So what if I told you there's an industry that produces a product, they release it to the atmosphere, well, at the same time they purchase that product in order to run their downstream operations? Seems like a missed opportunity, right? Well, around the globe, the brewers and the beverage industry in general produce vast quantities of CO2 that they release to the atmosphere. Well, at the same time, they purchase CO2 in order to run their downstream operations. CO2 Brew has developed a unit that captures the carbon dioxide from the fermentation process, cleans it, usually specially designed scrubbing units, and then cools, compresses, and stores it into tanks so that it can be later used within the brewery or sold if produced in excess. Now for breweries, this reduces the cost of CO2, increases a reliable supply of CO2, reduces their GHG emissions through the capture of CO2 that's normally sent to the atmosphere, and there's also a potential untapped revenue stream through the sale of excess CO2. CO2 Brew is also developing a trademark symbol that brewers can use to indicate to customers that the brew that they're consuming is created using recycled CO2. Now, in terms of an economic model, we're going to rent these units to breweries. This eliminates the need for heavy upfront capital, which small to medium craft breweries might have trouble collecting in order to purchase a unit. Now, to give you an idea, we'll fix the cost at a reduced rate relative to what they're currently paying for CO2. This not only provides immediate relief for the price of CO2, but also fixes the cost of CO2 over the course of the contract period. To give you an idea, a 20,000 hectoliter brewery can save up to $220,000 in a 5-year period. Now, we've spoken to over 60 breweries, and all of them are interested in installing this technology. To support this, we have 9 letters of interest from brewers, 1 letter of interest from a distillery, and we have 5 pending LOIs. This number actually doesn't mention the 2 LOIs I collected over the last week as well. Now, for investors in CO2 Brew, we're looking at IRRs between 25 and 60% and payout periods between 1.7 and 2.75 years. Now, this changes depending on the size of the brewery, as you can see to the graph to the right. Now, these numbers also don't include the sale of excess CO2 or carbon credits, which would be additional revenue. Now, for our initial target market, we're looking at US and Canada. Has over 10,000 breweries. Total addressable market is roughly $540 million potential revenue per year. In terms of our target market, which is breweries producing between 10,000 and 80,000 hectoliters per year, you're looking at $162 million potential revenue per year. Globally, there's over 20,000 breweries, meaning a potential target market of $400 million. Doesn't stop there. Distilleries, wineries, and food processors can also utilize our technology. And to give you an idea, distilleries produce roughly 8 times the amount of CO2 that breweries do. Now, a good idea is great, but it's the team that makes it happen. Our co-founding team is made up of 4 highly driven chemical engineers, all with a passion for sustainability and a very diverse work experience. We're also supported by a strong advisory team, including Big Rock Brewery and National Bank. Now, what are we looking for? $860,000. This will allow us to complete our first demo unit and install it at the confirmed location right here in Calgary. It'll also allow us to complete our first commercial unit and 2 years of operating time of the business. We're currently 65% committed on the seed round with non-dilutive funding from Alberta Innovates, $110,000 from the founders, and we've just closed our first VC deal with Avatar, who will be our lead VC moving forward. Now, we all want to save the planet, so let's save the only planet we know that has beer.
All right, thanks a lot, Kent. And for Q&A, we have Jessica LaJoy, Investment Impact Specialist with Alberta EcoTrust and also investor with Startup TNT.
Good. Thank you, Hassan. Thanks, Kent. Great job. I've had the luxury of leading the DD round on CO2 Brews. It's been great. So, for you, Kent, CO2 Brew's founding team, as you mentioned, consists of 4 chemical engineers. Maybe not what I would pick for a founding team for a startup. So as you move from your early stage tech development to this pilot project and then to commercialization over the next year, tell me why your team has what it takes to make the most of this investment round.
For sure. So though we are all chemical engineers, we really do have very diverse work experience. So to give you an idea, myself, I've been in sales for 10 years. I know I was a chemical engineer and then went into sales, a bit odd. We also have Karen, who is an engineer, but also has a very successful online business, I'll call it, that has over 50,000 followers. So not only does operations, but does that as well. Mark is both an engineer and has his MBA, so knows finances very, very well. And then Raji has been doing simulation work and knows technology like nobody else that I know. Honestly, you could probably take any idea and give it to this team and we could make it happen. It's been amazing to work with them and I'm super excited to see what we do moving forward.
Awesome. And looking forward into the future, what other skills or potential investor input would you want to see your team gain from potentially being invested through Startup TNT or others?
Sure, for sure. So one area that we're looking into is an investor that might have some ideas around CO2 sales and distribution. Obviously, that's kind of the next stage of our business. So somebody who might know somebody or be themselves interested and have knowledge within that area, obviously that would be great for our company. And obviously somebody who wants to grow with us as we move forward. So we don't want somebody just to invest in this round and then leave, but actually see us grow into the future.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Kent. Good
Thank
job.
you.
Okay. All right, we're 2 down. We are 40% of the way done. I can still do math. We have up next to introduce the next company, Raisa from USeed Funds. Raisa, here you are. Come on, stand between the lines. Good to meet you.
Good to meet you.
Tell us about USeed.
Hi there, I'm Raisa Spiritu. I am the executive in residence over at USeed, and I lead the Synovus Equity, Diversity, and Inclusion Accelerator, which is dedicated to supporting underrepresented and underestimated founders to help them create good businesses that can become investment ready and maybe one day find themselves here. USeed is University of Calgary's pioneering initiative that embodies the bridge between groundbreaking research and impactful commercialization. As Canada's largest university-based, philanthropically driven investment fund, USeed stands at the forefront of nurturing early-stage startups, providing crucial funding, coaching, and resource supports, both pre-investment and post-investment. USeed propels these companies from innovation to commercial success. It's more than just funding. We're focused on diversifying the economy and driving technology innovation. We're not just investing in companies, we're investing in a brighter and innovative future for all of us. They didn't tell me to say that, I added that myself. Anyways, if you want to learn more about the Synovius EDI Accelerator or USEED, I think Kristen's here representing health, Manuel's here representing the Energy Fund, and now it's my pleasure to introduce the next founder pitching. This is Pratik from ConnectX.
Thanks, everyone. Electricity grids are failing fast, leading to widespread outages and blackouts, causing billions of dollars in infrastructure and life losses. Just over 200,000 people were without power in California in February alone, and why the electricity prices kept soaring up. And that's because our electricity usage has gone through the roof due to massive electrification. Our energy usage has become extremely unpredictable. We are working more from home. We are charging our EVs at night. And the electricity grids are all antiquated. They're over 100 years old. They just can't take the stress anymore. So electricity utilities, the grid operators, they're all feeling the problem, and they're losing billions of dollars in their operating cost, and their old tools and systems just can't handle it. So while it's happening, consumers like you and I were worried, and we are investing in our own energy devices like rooftop solar and batteries, causing further loss of trust for the utilities and their business viabilities. It's time for utilities to implement a more distributed, reliable, connected grid by utilizing all these consumer devices in a seamless way. But it's nearly impossible to connect and manage all these millions of distributed, varied devices without smart automation and control. ConnectX automates this implementation connection operations with its device-agnostic automation system called Control OS, which balances the grid in real time autonomously, while keeping the system reliable and resilient, keeping the cost of operations low, saving carbon footprints, also allowing the consumers to generate more income. So we are an enterprise software as a service company. Think of us as the Microsoft for our smart grid. It's really very simple to use our solution for the utilities to connect any device or any site and connect to the smart grid in just about 30 minutes. We are device agnostic and extremely scalable. Our target customers are the utilities, energy operators, grid operators, who would save between 30 to 45% in their operating cost, while their consumers can generate between 25 to 55% in net dollar value. So by paying us just a very flat transaction fee, with which we can generate over $120 million in ARR by 2030 with 1 million connected homes, while also saving 24 million metric tons of CO2 every single year. Our paid pilots have confirmed our product market fit and the market demand. There are several other paid pilots in the pipeline as well. Our market size is about $170 billion. That's our TAM, which is global smart grid market. Our immediate market is virtual power plant market, and North America makes up over 40% of it. We are the industry's first ever OEM agnostic platform, and we are no-touch operating system, hence extremely scalable. Our direct competitors see us as 3x more scalable and probably about 20 to 50x times faster. We are also able to operate in off-grid mode when the outages happen. That's the very first time in the industry. The team comes with over 70 years of experience in software development, renewable energy, asset management, and we have experience. We are climate tech entrepreneurs, built and scaled companies before. We have experience in power electronics, AI, ML, and IoT. We are losing our pre-seed round, about $1 million, 15% of which is already committed. In fact, it's 20%. We just got a 5% more commitment last week. And we are going to use the proceeds in building the team, investing in our technology, and doing the pilot executions. So that said, it's time to free the energy for the internet to the internet of energy. Thank you very much for your attention today.
All right, thanks, Pratik. And for Q&A, we have Tudor, who's a 3-time investor with Startup TNT for Q&A.
Oh, yeah. I was waiting for my cue. It's okay. Another round of applause for Pratik, please.
Thank you.
I'm in the penalty box. Before my questions, I wanted to make a comment. Pratik, it was a pleasure doing due diligence on ConnectX.
Likewise.
And I hope you don't mind that I share with everybody. So we would send multi-page emails with many questions and clarifications, and Pratik's response time on average was about 20 minutes. color-coded with
That's real
links,
time.
attachments.
We are connected, real time.
You're connected. So in our due diligence notes, it's Pratik is online and committed. So, all right, you ready for your questions?
Yeah.
Okay.
Sure.
During our due diligence, you spoke to the pilots that you have landed. Through this summit, you landed 4 more, so you're up to 6, and you said you weren't done. So tell us, what is your next ideal customer for a pilot, and how would you plan to get them?
That's a great question. So this solution is really meant for the utilities and the grid operators who are at the forefront of the changes that is happening that's transforming the electricity sector. So our biggest market opportunities lies in the US, which is primarily facing most of it. And we just said that 40% of the virtual power plant or smart grid market is made out of the US. So we are looking to land at least 1 utility customer in the US, but also we started finding out new opportunities for pilots, especially in the data center space. And data centers, like Elon Musk said a couple of days back, I don't know whether you followed, their energy usage is growing 10 times every 6 months. And we can help them. They don't have the tools, and they can create their own BPPs, and that's where we started seeing a lot of tractions, inbound tractions, which is great.
And you can help them. Good answer, right on. Next one is a new one. We haven't talked about this one so far. We saw all the sponsors and support for Startup TNT, partners. Are there any partners or sponsors that you think ConnectX could use in the future for best success for your business?
I mean, you mean the existing sponsors?
Existing or moving forward as well. Just partners, people that can help you get into the market you're looking for, things like that.
No, I mean, we have been extremely fortunate, and many of you probably know that we have been already invested by Antler Canada. They have been opening many doors. What we are looking for in our partners, and we really think of investors as partners, is like a long-term marriage, 10 years at least. When they want to, they can introduce us to the industries. That's what we're looking for. What we call smart money is just not the money we are after. We can probably get money, but we are looking for more than that: advices, mentorship, and the introduction to the industry that we are targeting. That's what we're looking for. And thanks for Startup TNT support. You have been extremely helpful, and I see that happening with you.
Well done. Thanks, everybody.
All right, from electricity grid to where the electricity eventually gets used. To introduce the next company, we have Brad Schneider, partner at Fasken. Come on up, Brad.
Hey, everyone. My name is Brad Schneider. I'm a partner at Fasken and co-leader of the Emerging Technology and Venture Capital Group for the Prairie region. For those of you who don't know, Fasken is a leading Canadian law firm with over 20 years of experience in the startup space. Our emerging tech team consists of over 90 lawyers located throughout the country, working with startups in all cycles of their life, from pre-incorporation to financings, all the way to exits and everything in between. Our clients consist of founders with a brilliant idea looking to see if it can be commercialized, all the way up to some of the largest and fastest growing tech companies in the country. And I can't leave the stage without saying we are a very, very proud sponsor of the Platform Center here, and one of a brand new best friend sponsor of Startup TNT, which we are super stoked about. So now on to the reason I'm actually here. I have the pleasure of introducing ENA Solutions. ENA has developed the world's most durable, easy to use smart thermostat designed specifically for businesses. I'd like to invite Ramin, one of the co-founders, up to talk a little bit about his company. Ramin.
Absolutely. Hello. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. So my name is Ramin Tejalipur. I'm the co-founder of ENA Solution, and I'm here in behalf of my great co-founder, Patrick Williamson, and ENA Solution team. I'm excited to tell you guys what we are about. So I have a chance to be in commercial building, industrial building, flex type of buildings a lot. And in the past 19 years, I noticed that there are finicky mechanical programmable thermostats that encased in lock boxes. And they didn't do what they are supposed to do. They create the cool and heat areas. And we said, why they are doing that? So what we end up to do, quit our jobs during pandemic and started this journey. So what we decided, we should bring a smart thermostat for commercial application, be simple, ruggedized, be tamper-proof inherently. There's no screens or buttons on them, easy to install, bring data simple enough for an end user to understand that can come up with their simple set points and setbacks. ENA was born. It is simple to install, less than 15 minutes. In the last 1600 installation, it was 6 minutes in average. There's no C wire required. If you guys install a smart thermostat, that costs a lot if you put the new wirings on the system. And it harvests unique data set. We know the entire customer journey, from setting the set points to operating the heating and cooling system. Yes, we do have traction. We have started in 2020, and in 2021, we moved around and developed the different versions. And 2022, we got some traction, and in 2023, we believe that we got to product market fit. We increased our revenue by 6-fold, and this year we are in the path of tripling our revenue, and we are on track. We have received numerous design awards, and last year we were part of a top 10 startup of Calgary, and we won the People Choice Award. Opportunity-wise, there's over 6 million industrial and commercial buildings just in the US. 23% of them are equipped with smart thermostats of some sort, which is usually complex building management systems. And the rest are equipped with the residential one, $15 mechanical and programmable thermostats. Now, ENA is trying to get in the middle and cover the 80% that's left. Of course, we couldn't get here with the great team that we have and amazing advisors. We bootstrapped all the way till here. We received numerous grants, and we are here to get investors helping us open some doors and let us create a dent in this universe. Thank you.
All right, Raman, great job. And for Q&A, we have Sherry Corbett, senior. Okay, I've been told to remind everyone to do the feedback. So we have Sherry Corbett, senior partner with BDC's Cleantech Fund, one of our close friends.
Awesome, thank you. Well done, Ramin. Another round of applause for him, please. He did really, really good. So just quickly, I'm with BDC's Climate Tech Fund. Our Fund 1 was $600 million, Fund 2, $400 million. We only invest in Canadian companies with deep tech, climate tech, looking to significantly help the world with regards to GHG mitigation. We have 50 companies in Fund 1, 8 and counting in Fund 2, and a number of those are in Calgary, and they're pretty exciting businesses. So just quickly on yours, so well done. You never gave a dollar number to your TAM, your total addressable market. Can you let me know what that is and what percentage of that you think you can get?
Absolutely. So it's over 6 million industrial and commercial buildings just in the US. That converts to around $300 billion total addressable market, and we are trying to get all of it.
Good for you. So the other competitors that you listed on there in the different spaces, so in residential or in some of the larger spaces, how are you building a moat around your technology and your IP to ensure they don't impede on your space?
Absolutely, great question. So we are constantly investing in our R&D. Me and my co-founder, we're both engineers. We've been around for many, many years doing a lot of downhole technology. So we're bringing that technology to this space. Of course, we're keeping a lot of things as a trade secret, and of course, IP is a big deal for us. So patents, yes.
Well done.
Thank
and
you.
then on your $1.5 million raise, what's your timeline, and when are you hoping to close that by?
Great. We like to close in the next year, up to next year, and we like for the right investors that can help us to grow. So
anyone out there wants to help them to grow. All right. Thank you so much. Well done.
thank you. Cheers.
Okay. Here we are. One more to go. It's my pleasure to introduce another one of our best friend sponsors, Sahir, our community supported sponsor. Sahir from Amy. Sahir, are you here? There you are. There you are. Okay, Sahir, tell us about Amy and all the amazing work you guys are doing.
Thank you, Adrian. I'm Sahir. I'm the machine learning scientist at the Alberta Machine Intelligence Institute. I work in the startups team. Well, Amy's overall mission is AI for good and for all. Our team specifically works with startups across Canada to help them explore, build, commercialize AI technologies. I have two things to say today. First, we're currently accepting applications for our Machine Learning Exploration Program, MLE. It's a free program for startups to help them navigate how they can use AI in their business. The second thing I want to mention today is we're hosting one of the largest AI conference in Canada, in Edmonton. It's going to be happening on May 21st to 24th, featuring over 100+ sessions, panels, discussions, and whatnot, ranging over various fields in academia, research, startups, venture, and whatnot. The other thing is we are currently on early bird pricing, so we're offering 40% discount on our tickets. It's going to expire, the discount's going to expire by the end of the month, so make sure you get that. The name of the conference is Upper Bound. So you can hop onto upperbound.ai and make sure you get that ticket. It's 40% off. I'm really excited to be here. It's been an amazing set of pitches. I'd love to know more about you guys, and happy to catch up and perhaps see how Amy can help you in your AI journey. With that, I'll let it give to our next pitcher for the evening. That's James from MissionNet.
Thanks, man. As he said, I'm James Ingalls, CEO and founder of MissionNet. MissionNet has reimagined how we use energy infrastructure to ship data, not just fossil fuels, unlocking large-scale emissions monitoring and system optimization while using that same infrastructure to technologically advance the communities and regions it operates within. The energy industry is responsible for 5 billion tons of CO2 equivalent every year. And those emissions are spread across tens of thousands of facilities. And the truth is, there's currently no way to effectively monitor them. And that's because it's one of the most geographically distributed industries in the world. And with infrastructure built over the last 70 years, in various states of technological advancement. So the prospect of turning it into smart infrastructure and collecting the data that we require is incredibly daunting. And I can tell you, as someone who's spent the majority of his career collecting data from the farthest reaches of the energy industry, that this is nothing new. We've been struggling with reliably collecting data for decades. So when I turned my attention to emissions monitoring, I saw numerous companies building fantastic sensors and incredible analytics, but no one was addressing this fundamental issue that has constrained much higher value use cases. And if we're going to deploy the tens of thousands of emissions sensors that it'll take to accurately manage our fugitive emissions, it's not economically feasible to use the current cellular and satellite technologies. And that's what MissionNet has solved. So how does MissionNet work? We've taken a modern long-range communications technology used by the likes of SpaceX, upgraded the security to fit the energy industry's best practices, and we deploy that technology on existing energy infrastructure. So you can think of it as a shoebox-sized device with a 4-foot antenna. There's actually a picture of it there on the left. Mounted on the highest thing we can find at those facilities. And what that does is it blankets the entire area in sensor communications, up to 30 kilometers away from our sensors, from the antenna, eliminating the need for cellular and satellite modems at those sensors, enabling all those previously unobtainable OpEx reduction and system optimization use cases. So when we look at the use cases, when we look at the economics, the use cases that require satellite connectivity often all result in deeply negative NPVs, like continuous cathodic protection, which is actually the one that we've put up there. In fact, with that exact use case, MissionNet delivers a 10-year NPV of $208 million. And that's not even the coolest part. Due to the range of our technology and our security-first design, effectively unlimited sensor capacity, MissionNet not only blankets the energy industry's footprint in sensor communications, but it technologically advances the communities and industrials the energy industry operates within, providing a step change in smart agriculture, environmental monitoring, and remote community enablement. Now, this all sounds like science fiction, but we've operationally validated the technology through our 18-month pilot with TC Energy, demonstrating our ability to collect sensor data from up to 30 kilometers away, as well as reliably operating in the rugged Canadian conditions from +40 to -40 with no operational impacts. We're now working to expand our TC Energy pilot, moving beyond emissions monitoring to use cases, or to incorporate use cases for much higher value monitoring opportunities, and are currently papering an agreement with a major telecom to hybridize MissionNet with their systems. We've also strategically partnered with Spartan Controls to bridge existing industrial sensors over to the MissionNet system, and I'm thrilled to announce that we've received strategic investment from a large agricultural service company. I also want to highlight our team, which is composed of some of the country's most experienced and well-connected executives from energy, industrial automation, telecom, finance, which actually represents one of MissionNet's largest competitive advantages. MissionNet has a unique ability to address multiple high-value markets with effectively unlimited growth potential. Our technology is operationally validated. We have a strong purpose-built team, and importantly, all the relationships required to build, de-risk, and exit are in place. All that's left is to secure the capital to get the ball rolling. So to that end, we're raising an $850,000 seed round, which is 45% subscribed and led by Avatar Leadership Fund 1. As is often said, data is the new oil, and MissionNet is the new pipeline.
There you go. Taking us home, down the home stretch, which makes me think of a race and a relay race. So the anchor for our relay race, for our investor Q&A, is one of our ambassadors. Stephanie, get up here. One of our ambassadors, one of our LPs. We love Stephanie. Stephanie, take us home. Let's go.
Okay, thanks, Adrian. I have had the privilege of knowing James for about a year now and watched his company really grow and mature in the last year. And one of the things that I really want to ask about, you touched on it a little bit, but during your customer discovery, when you were meeting with oil and gas companies, you had an opportunity to ask them what their needs were. Do you want to tell us a little bit about some of the use cases and maybe walk us through one?
Yeah, absolutely. So the use cases are actually quite broad. So we started with emissions. Corporate security actually has become a large one for us. System optimization, vibrations on valves, positions, that kind of thing. Probably one of the easiest to understand, and actually the one that threw the big number up there, is cathodic protection. So cathodic protection, if you don't know, and I wouldn't blame you if you didn't, is the anti-corrosion system on a pipeline. Effectively, you put a charge across your pipe so it doesn't rust in the ground. And by regulation, in order to ensure that that's running, you have to have a test point every 1.6 miles or 2 kilometers. And industry standard is to manually check that voltage to make sure it's on once a year at every single point. So one of the pipelines that we're working with has 210,000 test points. And they go to that every year and check a voltage on it. And it's probably the easiest thing to automate in the world, but the problem is that how do you get that data back? I mean, these things are running through the middle of nowhere, and the sheer quantity of them blows up the economics. So there is a solution, which is effectively a voltmeter strapped to a satellite receiver, but the NPV of deploying that is negative $400,000 or 400 million, over a 10-year period. And so by deploying the MissionNet system, we no longer need that satellite system, and our NPV goes to positive 200, effectively enabling the automation of a major pain point.
Thanks, James. Thanks for a great pitch, and we look forward to watching MissionNet grow.
I appreciate it.
All right. Thank you, Stephanie. All right. Thank you. Come on, guys. A bigger hand than that. A bigger round of applause. Before we go to deliberation, I want to give another shout out here to one of our core funding sponsors, supporters, Alberta Innovates, IO. What did you think of the pitches tonight?
To be honest, I think it's going to be very tough for the investors tonight to deliberate and come back with a winner because all the pitches were great. Let's give them a round of applause.
Okay, so IO's at Alberta Innovates. They've been a big supporter of ours, like Prairie's Camp. But IO, what is going on at Alberta Innovates? What are you most excited about? Where do you see the future? What do you think's going on here in Calgary? What do you think of the energy here?
Well, I love the energy here. What am I excited about? I'm excited about year end. It's March, and we are a government entity. I know for you. Yeah. But it's still business as usual in most cases. We are okay. The last time I did this, I was in Edmonton, and we had this pop quiz, just asking people about Alberta Innovates, if they know about Alberta Innovates. So I'm curious to know, by show of hands, this is your first time of hearing about Alberta Innovates. Oh, okay.
3.
Oh,
like 1%.
Okay, fine. Okay, I'll give you a quick rundown. Alberta Innovates is a crown corporation of the government of Alberta, and we are there to support the startup and the innovation ecosystem in Alberta, delivering on the innovation priorities of the provincial government of Alberta. And we do this in different ways through different mechanisms. We like to say we fund by investing. Yeah, we invest, we don't take back. But we invest through grants, so they are non-repayable grants. We also build a community around the businesses, and we also provide coaching through our dedicated advisors. We have one of them right here, Pej. Pej is in the back there, so you can say hi to him before you leave tonight. So what's happening? Well, a few things. We have our conference happening in May in Ventures. If you haven't attended before, you should. It's an amazing platform to connect and collide with other startup founders, entrepreneurs, investors. We have a lot of people globally that come to attend. It's about a 5,000 capacity conference. One other thing I wanted to highlight, more related to clean resources. We have a clean resources group within Alberta Innovates. If you have more questions about it, I'm happy to connect you to my colleagues. One of the highlights of that group, we launched the 50 Million Hydrogen Center of Excellence in 2022, 2023, and it's to support everything hydrogen along the value chain of hydrogen, from production to storage to distribution. So if you want to learn more about everything that we do within the Clean Resources Group, let me know. I'm happy to make those connections happen. One last thing before I leave, and I know you're watching your clock. If you're a startup founder and this is probably your first time raising capital and you need support, there is a workshop that Alberta Innovates is putting together. I'm leading that, and we have a facilitator that will take you through the process of fundraising over 2 days. It's March 27, 28, just before the holidays. So if you want to learn more, please feel free to reach out to me. There's a lot of information on that too on LinkedIn. But it's going to be very, 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 very interesting, and it will be a good experience to get you ready for fundraising.
Right on. Thank you. Okay. No, thank you very much, you guys. Alberta is a massive supporter of ours. We love those guys. They also funded another program we're doing here in Calgary. Hassan, come in here. Another program we're doing in Calgary for startups thinking about applying to a TNT summit or just raising money in general. It's in Calgary. It's part of the CIC, Alberta Innovates funded program. We're calling it Demystifying Due Diligence. It starts Monday, April 6th or 7th, whatever the Monday of that week is. It's a Monday and Tuesday. So it'll be posted very, very soon on our events page. check out our LinkedIn for more details. So it's getting loud down there, which I think means we're getting to the end.
We are. We got to get to the deliberations now.
Yes. So investors, we're going to ask you now. We've got food and refreshments up in the deliberation room. So please start making your way to the deliberation room. We're going to be back here in 45 minutes or less to announce the winners of the summit. In that time, remember, give the founders your feedback. That is super important. They can walk away with valuable information that will help them build their businesses. And lastly, we are doing an after party. Don't forget, you can donate to the bar tab. I will say that we've had 3 more donations since the last time we were up here.
I know there's been at least 2.
There has been 2. Have been 2. And James McKenzie, another one of our investors, also donated. So it's not just investors, any denomination. We will shout you out right here. If you want your name yelled out, or if you want to be anonymous, it's fine. Well, you can click the anonymous button. Just let us know. Cheers@startuptnt.com. It couldn't be simpler. Cheers@startuptnt.com. Help these founders have an incredible after party. Help us have an incredible after party. We'll see you in 45 minutes. Thank you, everyone.
All right. All right, everyone, we're going to be starting in a few more minutes, so everyone come on up, grab your seat.
Okay, if you're not coming up here, I'm going to ask you to be really quiet, because when you guys talk down there, it's really loud up here. That was my dad voice. Okay.
All right. Well,
that was grueling.
That was tough.
I mean, not as tough as being a founder, pitching on stage, and going through 8 weeks of due diligence.
We got to compress all of that 8 weeks into like 45 minutes.
Okay. So we don't want to belabor this, but we're going to belabor it by 5 slides. So I hope you will bear with us for just a little longer. I'm going to ask those of you downstairs to please be quiet. Thank you, guys. Okay, here we go. These founders have worked incredibly hard. They've worked with the investors for the last 8 weeks. It's because it's on the static slide still. Are we good? Inland, are we good?
Slides are not moving.
Okay, can you guys just advance them for us? Okay. All right, here we go. These founders have worked incredibly hard. They are building a brand new business. The investors, this due diligence is deep. It's 8 weeks. There were over 60 investors around the Cleantech table. Hassan, have you ever seen investors go this deep?
I have not. This is the largest summit that I've been involved with since I've been with TNT for the last 8 summits.
There you heard it here. I will agree. I think I've also done 8 summits. Although I haven't counted them all. I've just done every summit since the fall of 2021, which I think is probably
8
summits. And this was deep. These companies are good. These founders are good. These teams are good. These were the teams. One more time, give it up for these Cleantech founders.
And like we said before, just because you're not the winning company doesn't mean you're not if you're not the company that wins, you're not the winning company. So all these companies deserve all our respect for being up here and presenting tonight.
That's right. Every single one of these companies is a good company. I want to remind you, we don't tell you how many companies applied, but it was quite a few. 20 pitched, well actually 19 pitched because one couldn't make it. But we typically 20 pitched. 20 were selected to pitch at the top 27 weeks ago. These 5 were selected as the most investable, the most interesting at the time for this group of investors. These were incredible companies.
That's right. So one of them is going to get the guaranteed investment from the Syndicate Angel group. But on top of that, there's also the VC fund.
So one of the company, the winning company, is going to get a co-investment. So some of those 60 investors are LPs in TNT Capital. TNT Capital is our VC fund. It does $50,000 alongside the angels. This fund is 30% for initial checks and roughly 65% for follow-on checks and 5% for expenses and others. Yeah, that's funny. I'm not sure why that was funny, but apparently it was hilarious. This fund is just over half raised already. We announced in beta kit mid-December. And we've invested in 18 companies prior to tonight. As of today, we'll be doing 3 more investments. Hassan's an LP, I'm an LP. I'm personally super stoked to be a part of this fund.
Oh, absolutely. And if anyone else is interested in joining, just come see us. We'd be glad to talk about this further.
Absolutely. Okay. So again, we're belaboring it because the second we tell you who won tonight, you're all going to go back to the bar, you're all going to get more drinks, and then you're all going to stop listening to us. So tonight, we have an after party. We're in Calgary, National on 10th. It says 9:30 there. We can start making our way from here as of 9 o'clock onwards. Taylor, our lovely bartender behind the bar over there, redundant, is going to be also our bartender at National tonight, so you get some continuity. I hope you've all been tipping your bartenders because the bar has been free. And it won't be free at National, which is why we ask for donations. And we've had a few more, Hassan.
That's right. There's been donations coming in, and if there's anyone else, they have time to put in donations as well. And I just wanted a quick shout out to Regina, Vic's Tavern. I expect everyone to be there. Should be hopping, Jesse and William.
Regina's never been so hopping. I want to say a quick thank you to Trevor Winkler, James McKenzie, Rahim Natu. These guys are contributing to the bar tab at National on 10th, and you can too. But please give it up for all the contributors. It's not too late. We'll shut you out in the newsletter. Cheers at startuptnt.com. Is there anything else? Are we good?
I think that's it, isn't it?
Should we just open the bar? Or should we announce the winner?
I think there's actually one other thing we need to do, right?
There's one more thing. There's always one thing. Some thank yous.
That's right. Couldn't have done this without the contribution of a lot of people behind the scenes. We got Inland AV supporting us here, doing all the tech work.
Our friends up top.
We got Platform Calgary, which was great to work in. This is amazing space.
Look at this space. Platform Calgary. Give it up, Platform.
Who else do we got?
We've got our lovely stage manager running the show over here, Selena. Did you know she's a professional singer? She's doing karaoke later with Nathan and I. Who else we got? We got people behind the stages, or behind the scenes, right?
That's right. You can't see them, but they're actually running the whole production show. We have Jonah, our tech expert, and
He's
Winnie.
our operations lead.
Operations lead, sorry. and Winnie as well.
Operations lead for the summit.
So thank you to them. Everyone, a round of applause for Jonah and Winnie for all the tech work behind the scenes.
A lot of people we've been finding are here because they saw us on social media. Our marketing lead, Mandy Armstrong in Ontario, very late for her right now. Big shout out for her.
Absolutely. Thank you, Mandy.
I think Hassan flying in from Regina, what a big thank you for him.
Thanks, Calgary, for the welcome.
All right, guys, we are belaboring it now. Without further ado, the winner of the 2024 Startup TNT Cleantech Investment Summit is
ConnectX.
Okay. No, you bring them down. Okay. We're working on 2 more side deals right now. Unfortunately, we can't announce any right now, but we are working on 2 more side deals. So again, big shout out for all the people who bridged tonight, and we hope to announce more deals in the future in the next 10 days. But right now, it's for ConnectX. So thank you everyone for coming, and once again, congratulations, ConnectX.
All right.
We're just going to do some pictures here. Everyone feel free. The bar is open. Feel free to go. We're going to do some pictures and stuff. There's no need to stay around anymore. Thank you, everyone.